got some major breaking news. Donald Trump is now calling for regime change in Iran, contradicting top officials in the Trump administration and MAGA influencers who said that that was not Donald Trump's intention. In a new post, Donald Trump wrote, "It's not politically correct to use the term regime change, but if the current Iranian regime is unable to make Iran great again, why wouldn't there be a regime change? MEGA." As our editor-in-chief Ron Filipkowski says, just when the paid MAGA shills got done cranking out 36 hours a post to their divided cult that this was only about nukes and not regime change, Trump does it again. Is this really what Trump voters voted for? To make Iran great again? Less than 12 hours ago, Pete Hegseth said this mission was not and has not been about regime change. J.D. Vance told ABC, "We don't want to achieve regime change, we want to achieve the end of the Iranian nuclear program." In recent days, MAGA influencers like Charlie Kirk have been bashing people like Lindsey Graham for calling for regime change. Charlie Kirk recently said, "This is insane. Regime change will result in a bloody civil war, killing hundreds of thousands and creating another massive Muslim refugee crisis." Now, it's hard to imagine he's going to have the same opinion now that it's what Donald Trump is saying. We're going to keep following the story, so make sure you're following our account and add the Midas Touch podcast right now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and leave a 5-star review.
Now, before I get started with this video, I'd like to thank Midas Touch on TikTok for this video. So let me get this straight. So Donald Trump first want to attack Iran because they are a threat. They may have a nuclear weapon in the future. Now all of a sudden they want to change it, and they want regime change in that country. They got Israel's playbook now. Israel want the same thing. Israel mainly want regime change in Iran. So you want to put two and two together, that this is both Israel and the United States both want regime change in Iran. But then Donald Trump didn't say that at first when he had using B-2 bombers attacking the Iranian nuclear facilities, right? So now they're doing the same thing like they did in Iraq. How they lied to the public that this is all about weapons of mass destruction, and then turn around, it wasn't weapons of mass destruction because there is no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Instead, they want to attack Iraq, because of, George Bush's, father, blah, 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 right? But then now, fast forward to 2025, same thing, same playbook. Now, Trump said this is all about Iran creating a nuclear bomb or nuclear missile. Then turn around, it's all about regime change. He got that from Israel. He got that from AIPAC. I told you about AIPAC, which is Israeli. Basically, one of the top Israeli lobbyists in the country, how they pay politicians. Some is on Trump's military advisors, including Marco Rubio, but they're not going to tell you about that, right? So we knew this is going to happen, and I told you before, there's been more breaking news with the Iran wars, the Iranians and Israel situation. Now, the Iranian foreign minister is in Russia right now and want to meet with the President Vladimir Putin. Now, this is interesting because I told you before that, Iran has indeed allies like Russia, China, North Korea, Pakistan, Venezuela, and now he's going to meet with one of their allies at the moment. More than likely, Russia's going to help Iran, which means expanding the war. There's been talk now that all the nuclear powers whose team Iran, which is, again, Russia, China, North Korea, Pakistan, most of the countries are saying they're going to sending nuclear equipment to Iran to build their nuclear arsenal just in case they've been attacked again. All of this stuff is happening at the moment. So we're going to wait and see what's next. But as far as Donald Trump reiterated himself, saying in the first it was about nuclear missiles Iran about to build. Now all of a sudden it's now Iran is going to have a regime change. He got that from the Israeli playbook. Same what Israel said last year, that they want they want regime change in Iran by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Said the same thing last year. Now Trump said the same thing just a few moments ago. Let me know what you think about this in the comments.